Hello, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and our LinkedIn Live community and our webinar community. Welcome to this month's webinar, and actually it's the first webinar in a series of webinars from the Cyber Agility Academy. And today's topic is why become a certified ethical hacker. It's a very popular certification out in the industry today, and we have one of our leading experts here and trainers who's going to give us shed some light on this topic about what are the benefits of becoming a certified ethical hacker, what are some of the job prospects are out there, and what are companies looking for in general. So I hope you guys get a lot out of this conversation that we have with you here today. And just a brief introduction of myself and our panelists here, Adonis. I'm Charles Maddox, the founder of Cyber Agility Academy, and my background is in software development, particularly in agile development. And actually, I'm doing a PhD thesis in the cybersecurity space and how it aligns with software development. So I'm a current student at the University of North Texas, and so this is a very near and dear topic of mine about the security certifications that are out there, especially how they apply to development practices. All right, well, I'll turn it over to Adonis. And welcome, Adonis. Can you give a brief introduction of who you are and kind of what your background is?
Yeah, my name is Adonis Baybayan. I am a cybersecurity trainer and a consultant. I have expertise in offensive security, but I do love doing some forensics work and investigating, and they all kind of go hand in hand, right? If you know how to break into a computer system, you can definitely be like, okay, well, somebody left tracks here. How would I do it? There you go. I am currently a CISSP, a CEH master, a CHFI, or a computer hacking forensics investigator, and as a certified network defender. I also have expertise in CCNA or Cisco systems, routing and switching. So I'm a pretty well-rounded individual. I started my career back in like the early 2000s, where certifications were more of a punchline rather than a good thing on your resume, but that has completely changed out in the world. Yes, I am also accredited by EC Council to be a certified instructor, and I do hold the CEH Master certification because I endured the CEH practical exam. And actually, I have, as of right now, I probably have like 5 students that have achieved the same certifications as I did through CEH. So that is I would say that's a big notch on my belt. So I guess the big question out today is, why become a CEH or certified ethical hacker, where there are so many other different avenues that you can go through? Is that something that's on everybody's mind at the moment? I think so. And I guess the thing is that we have to also understand that CEH is a very robust and very respected institution, or EC Council. And, I can show you guys right now. Can I have access to share my screen? Let me clear up what I have here, and let's make sure I have everything that I need. Let's go ahead and get rid of this, get rid of that. Actually, why am I looking up when I can just look ahead? I have multiple monitors in front of me over here. Let me just close up a couple of things that could be personal. And right there. Clean that up. All right, awesome. So let's go and take a look, just practicality, right? What exactly does CEH practically give me, right? I mean, I know you guys are really hesitant on spending a couple $1,000s on a certification that you may or may not use, okay? Case in point, A+. Who has A+? Whoever who has actually ended up using it. Sometimes you can get through the door without getting your A+. Not to say that it's not invaluable. It's not to say that the certification is not invaluable. It's to say that the certification sometimes you don't obviously need it. However, let's go take a look online here. Let me share my screen. And let me share an application real quick over here. And that is going to be here. All right, so let's go ahead and clear this out. And let's go talk about certifications out there. Let's talk about, OSCP, offensive security, or actually offensive security certified penetration tester. which is one of the pen testing certifications out there. As you can see right here, all throughout the United States, there's 1,518 OSCP jobs out there. And I know some of you guys might have seen this, and this is a really great certification, right? It's really awesome, gets you in the weeds. You get to know everything about, you get to know a good number of things about computer systems breaking into them. However, in terms of practicality, take a look at the CEH. CEH itself has 4,175 jobs pending for it. Now, basically, the general idea here is whether you're going to the DoD, you're going to the private sector, wherever it is, most people are asking for that CEH down here, CCSP, CEH, CISSP plus, but they're asking for CEH. Why is that? What makes CEH so amazing? Well, CEH is actually a great primer in the world of penetration testing. It basically ensures that an individual has the basic knowledge of understanding key concepts like enumeration, system hacking, SQL injections, all that stuff. They're a very well-rounded individual. All right, I seem to be rambling over here. Charles, you want to focus me on? You guys have any more questions for me in terms of what makes why CEH is worth it?
No, yeah, you're on a great track there. So,
Right.
So job market wise, this obviously, like I said, separates you from the rest in terms of your penetration testing, offensive, security-minded folks. How does that differ from, looking at, I've heard these concepts of red team, blue team, purple team, and how does CEH fit into that mix?
Well, actually, it's built directly into that mix because it was made to be a red team. It was made to be a red team certification. Like if you're more interested in blue team, that is like the CND or Certified Network Defender. But you could take the knowledge and use it for red team and blue team purposes. Now, thank you for getting me on track with that. I want to make sure that everybody also understands, like, what exactly, what you've heard about CEH before, but can you take it seriously? Well, yes, you can, because definitely CEH is part of the 8570 compliance or training for the DoD. That means information assurance technology. So if you are proposing that you want to get a job with the DoD, within the DoD itself, there you go, you can get the IAT levels. Now that's information assurance technology section, as opposed to IAM, the management section over here. CEH will actually get you into certified security service provider certification. So you can get a job in the DoD doing forensics, doing infrastructure support, not just from level 1, but all the way up to level 3. That's also another feather in the CEH bonnet there. If you guys are interested in that, if you guys are prior military, if you're looking for a job in the DoD, you get a bit of a benefit for being prior military. And also if you have the certification in tow, that gets you a couple more points towards your interview. Now let's go ahead and talk about what exactly do you learn in CEH, right? I'm going to go ahead and stop my share real quick. And let me bring up let me bring up this here from CEH themselves. Now, what exactly do you learn? Now, I want to make sure you guys understand. You don't need to be somebody with 5 to 10 years experience to take on CEH. Now, I have to say, you need to have basic computer skills. You need to understand how a computer works for the most part. If you have your Security Plus, if you have your Net Plus, you have your A Plus, that is going to definitely be a big help. Now, again, what we're talking right now is who you are. If you want to take on CEH, you want to be somebody that's comfortable with computer systems, or else, I'm not saying it's impossible. I have had students that have had very little computer experience take on CEH. They put in the work, and now they're working in a top secret SCIF out in California somewhere. So it is definitely possible to start from very, very junior all the way to someplace a bit more advanced. Now, what exactly is included in CEH if you do want to take on this program? Now, in the CEH, the big things, the big modules that you learn about is the footprinting and reconnaissance. Now, footprinting and reconnaissance basically means understanding how to go out to the internet, understand who your adversary is, footprint them, find out some information about them, and use that information to enact a exploit or to enact a or to take advantage of a vulnerability. We will teach you how to do that. And so what does that mean on the blue team side? If you understand that you are going to go out and research your company and say, oh man, boss, we are hemorrhaging some information that shouldn't be out on the internet. I found this looking through open source intelligence the other day. You can actually use that in blue team standards. Again, the knowledge that we teach you can be used maliciously. However, your application for it makes or gives you that white hat as opposed to that black hat. You'll also learn how to scan networks. That means that you will be able to take inventory of a network within externally, internally, and be able to figure out what exactly is live on the system.
Quick question, Adonis. Hey, to interrupt you there, you're on a roll, but one of the questions that comes to mind when you're talking about all this, and me being, and some might be new to these concepts of offensive hacking,
right?
What type of laws and regulations are there in place? I mean, can you go out and start testing some of your techniques that you learn in this class out in the out in the world, or what do you need to be?
Absolutely not. So the only time that you can apply these techniques is if you have written permission from whoever you are testing. Or if you are in your own lab, and we will go through making your own internal lab using virtual machines within the course itself. But yeah, you're not going to want to go out there and start, let's go mess with Jeff Bezos and see if we can mess with Amazon. You're not going to want to do that. Chances are you're probably not going to find anything because Jeff basically hires the best people, just try to break into his system. But who knows? Maybe you can find something like a Log4j. I'm sure you guys have heard about Log4j exploit. The world lost their mind about that a couple of months ago. Actually, no, it was 2022, earlier this year. Okay. So yeah, exactly. It's a very precarious place to try to practice this. When I learned hacking back in the 90s, there were no rules around it. I basically just was a little hooligan on the internet doing whatever. And then the laws graduated, and then they became more and more restrictive over time. Yeah, I would not be caught dead poking around in a live production system. That wasn't mine. Wasn't mine. Very good question, and I really do appreciate you asking that. All right. So, you can take a look at what we have on the page over here, and you will learn all of the things here. Enumeration, the ability to look at a computer system, look through all of the running processes, running services, and being able to say, hey, this is the process that's going to allow me to break into this system. That is a process of enumeration. Vulnerability analysis, that is going to be second nature to you by the time you're done with CEH. And of course, system hacking, taking the information that you have earlier from the earlier phases, and then saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to use this. I'm going to crack into the system, and I am going to escalate my permissions or get root. These are all the aspects that you will learn through CEH. Any further questions before I keep on going here? I feel like I'm just talking off your ear, Charles.
This is great information. One of the things that come to mind when I see this is that how intense are these modules? There's a lot of modules here. And how intense are there like examples and exercises and simulations that a student will go through in each of these modules?
Yeah, the way how we teach it over here at I4 is basically I'm going to be in the command line all the time. I am not a instructor that goes over the slides and be like, hey, look at the slides until your nose bleeds. No, that's not going to wait. I don't want to do that. That's not the way how I want to spend my day. So yes, the class basically is mostly hands-on. There's going to be a set time for labs so people can go into the labs and get more acquainted and more experience with it. I will tell you guys right now, this course itself is going to be extremely intense. It is. It's going to be extremely intense. If hacking was easy, everybody would be doing it. If hacking was easy, you would not be making six figures getting a pen testing job or a security job. That's just the way how it is. Are you expected to put in some work? Yeah, absolutely. Is it going to be super? No, it's not going to be super easy. Probably going to be one of the more challenging things that you're going to be doing going to be one of the more challenging things that you are going to do. But is it worth the reward? Yes, absolutely. You know what? Before I got my CEH, I hated my job. I will tell you guys that before I got my CH, I really had no options because I got into the world of IT management, and I got pigeonholed into that kind of life there. I wasn't interested in what I was doing. However, CEH allowed me to broaden my horizons, work on interesting things, work on the things that I thought was exciting. And now, essentially, I feel like I just hang out and do cool stuff every day. That is my job. And you know what? I'm not going to stop working until about 65. So I got 25 years of hanging out and doing cool stuff. So that is one thing I just want to implore to you guys. If you guys want a change, if you guys want to empower, a change in your life, change in career, change in direction, why not, right? Why not take on something like this, like take on CEH and add more to your skill set? Because I'll tell you guys right now, computers aren't going anywhere. Computer security systems are going to become more and more part of everyday life. The concept of someone being able to look at a system and secure it is going to be more and more evident. These are going to be the skills of the future, and they're going to be the ones that people and companies are going to be wanting to be seeking out. All right. Anything else you got for me, Charles?
That sounds good. Yeah, this one question I have is, what tools, like you said, most of it's command line. Are there any platforms? I heard, some fun games like Capture the Flag and things of that nature that you might be engaged in during a training course to actually make it kind of fun, like a challenge and competitions and things like that. How does that fit in?
Well, within the competition itself, within CEH, there is not a Capture the Flag. There are labs. However, I do utilize, now for me personally, when I teach the class, I do utilize Hack the Box to teach these courses. And that is a flag-based platform where you break into quote unquote live systems over VPNs, all very secure, very safe, but it basically gamifies the whole process, right? The general idea is, can you break into this one particular computer system? I will tell you right now, most of the time that I teach these classes, my students absolutely love it. They stay engaged they stay engaged, and they basically work on these things for hours at a time. And rightfully so, because it is really exciting. If this is your bag, you are going to be excited about breaking into a computer system. I remember the first time I broke into Hack the Box, and like the first time I got root on a box on my own, I was like, ooh, like my heart was pounding. It was like I was driving a Ferrari or a sports car for the first time. I literally felt like, wow, I did that. That is amazing.
That's awesome. All right, well, cool. Yeah, any other last tidbits you want to cover on the actual agenda, what a student might want to expect? Otherwise, I wanted to
Right. I mean, the way how other schools do this, they try to teach you this stuff in 5 days, 14 days, or 10 days, I should say. The way how we do it, we want to make sure that you learn the actual lessons. So we expand it into a 7-week course. I don't like teaching this much information. There's 20 modules. And if you were even to break this up into, an 8-hour day, 5 days a week, or, 2 weeks for 4 hours a day, you're not gonna absorb all the stuff. My personal preference is the longer format, so people can go into a module, explore, read about it, go to the labs and do the activities themselves. I'm a big fan of that format, and the success that I've seen in my students when they have taken that format is unparalleled to anything else. So that's one big selling point that I do want to make sure that everybody knows. And that is it.
Let me share. Can I take over the screen share again?
Sure. I'm going to go ahead and stop my share right now.
I wanted to get your take on particular statistic that we oftentimes hear about how the industry has a shortage of cybersecurity workers. And how does CEH fit into that? Where you can see this statistic from it's in broker.com, where, and this is that, not unusual. There's a lot of people sharing data similar to this about how the cost of cyber crimes and just cybersecurity threats and deficiencies and vulnerabilities are continuously exponentially growing, while there's a shortage of workforce to be able to help companies with these issues. How does CEH kind of fit into this picture, and what are your thoughts about kind of where the future is going in terms of what we're seeing here on this chart?
Right. Well, this is not a new problem. This has been a problem since 2015, actually anytime since the 2000s. The thing is, everything is converging on over to the internet. All the data is converging together. Everybody's data is out there. And basically the cost of managing all that data and networks is exponentially growing year over year. Now, the great thing about CEH is that the domain is so wide. You can deal, or you can have experience or knowledge about multiple domains that can help out companies. That's the reason why so many companies are asking for CEH. That's the reason why the DoD is asking for people to have the AIT level 3 training, because CEH is so broad. Now, there are more specific trainings that are out there, yes, but you can definitely use CEH as a platform, a jumping ground. So a jumping point into more advanced or more directed or more focused study sections. Like for me personally, I took on CEH years upon years ago, and I had no clue where I was going to go from there. Well, from there, I found out that my love is forensics. So I went from CEH and I went into forensics. And from forensics, I kind of made my own specializations, everything from being able to analyze a computer system's memory, look for malicious activity through there. That's all part of the escalation in knowledge. CEH is going to give you a starting point. If you don't know where to go or where to start, CEH is a great place to get started at. At least you will know about the domains that are in security, and then you can make a decision of where you want to go afterwards.
Great. Thanks for that explanation there.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, like, I started my career as a network engineer, and back in 2000s, there wasn't really a specific field for cybersecurity, which is all the same thing. But afterwards, we kind of found out, we were able to, using that experience, I was able to get into more security-based roles. And that's the same thing with CEH. Basically, you get your foot in at one place, and next thing you know, the sky's the limit.
Great. So that's a good opportunity here for that this certification. So I want you to give kind of maybe just a little prelude about your class. And you mentioned a little bit about how you don't like to teach it, back to back in a 5-day session. And currently we have, you're actually running a class for cyber agility here from October 17th through December 8th. And what should a student think in terms of the pace of this class and what to expect over the weeks that you teach when you're teaching this class? What's the expectations there, you think?
Well, the expectation is just be prepared to learn, right? Read the material. If I assign the material, read it for the night out. I swear most people will check out if they listen to me lecture I've lectured for 8 hours a day. In the past, 8 hours a day, and day in, day out, people would go out there looking punch drunk, like, I have no clue what he just talked about. All I know, I was just sitting here for 8 hours. I don't like that. I fully understand people's brains. They don't absorb the same information as it comes in. So yes, be prepared to put in the work afterwards, so we can spend the time in class discussing important things, discussing, questions you have about the material, and me showing off, breaking into my neighbor's Wi-Fi, or not my neighbor's Wi-Fi. I'm just saying, breaking into a Wi-Fi I set up down the street. So we can focus on the good stuff and showing it. And also the thing here is that these labs and these lessons is not to show you how difficult this stuff is. I want to be able to show you guys how simple this could be if you have the right training and you have the right attitude and the mindset. I am not one of those guys that wants to show you how smart I am. I want to show you how smart you are, as opposed to that. I already know how smart I am.
Yes.
My mom tells me I'm really smart. All right.
Cool. All right. Well, yeah. So, so this is just kind of also too a heads up for those that are out there, that are on this LinkedIn Live event and that are listening in on the webinar in general. That goes out, the recording that will go out, that this class is on for October 17th, and yeah, we'll love to see you sign up. What we'll do right now is we'll open it up for any questions or comments that come in. We're right at 1:30, and we've been talking for a half an hour here too, so we'd like to get your input. Any questions out there? There are a few on the live webinar, anyone on LinkedIn Live, any questions from those that are in attendance?
Yeah, please. Any questions you guys may have, I don't care what it is, please.
Monitoring the LinkedIn Live event as well. Nothing yet.
Okay.
But while we're kind of finishing up here, Adonis, one of the other last things that I'd like to mention, and you could chime in on this as well, about how you have seen this process work well. One thing too at Cyber Agility Academy, we're not just going to train you and then just send you out to the wolves and give you no support. One thing that I'm passionate about too, as a founder of Cyber Agility Academy, I'm a professional coach and mentor too, and I've mentored a lot of technologists over the years, and how to find jobs, how to speak up at your interviews in the proper way, use the proper terminologies, and frame things in a certain way to position yourself as a professional in your field and a knowledge expert. So that's one thing too that we pride ourselves in, is that not only you're going to get the education, but myself and some of our other coaches will personally kind of help mentor you in the field and help guide you along the way. So Adonis, since you've been in this industry for a while, have you seen the importance? I'm sure you can kind of share the importance of that aspect of how the coaching and the mentoring after the training helps out quite a bit.
It really does. I mean, like, you could have all the greatest skills in the world, but if your resume is not on par, if your resume looks like it was just kind of copied and pasted into a Word document, people aren't going to pay attention to you. If you show up at an interview and you might be the smartest guy in the world, but you don't have you don't present yourself in a way that is worthy of your skill set, you're not going to get a job. That's just all there is to it, right? It doesn't, the world out there, you need to be able to interview well, speak well, and present yourself well, and having someone at your side that will groom you to get that all buttoned up is absolutely invaluable. Yeah.
Good stuff. All right. Well, Adonis, I don't see any other comments or questions coming in. I guess these attendees they got it all locked down, and they're good to go. So other than that, I think just appreciate your time, Adonis, and look forward to your class happening on October 17th. And for those out there as well, pay attention, go to cyberagility.academy. Again, that's cyberagility.academy, and that's where you can register and get signed up for the course. With that, thank you so much, Adonis. And thank you all attendees that were able to attend, and hope to see you guys in one of our classes.
All right. Awesome. Take it easy, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.